Hello there, Tuvi. Okay, recently copyright infringement has been in the limelight and has aroused wide concern. As a matter of fact, rules and regulations on copyright issues have played a pivotal role in promoting creativity and ensured society's stability. Wow, what a super way to start an essay. Okay, pivotal role. That is wonderful. Excellent. Excellent. That's really like sophisticated language. And not a single grammar mistake here. So that's really good, Tuvi. I'm very impressed. Hopefully, when I see an essay this good, I like to confirm that the student has written it in 40 minutes. Okay, I've done both in 60 minutes. Just in case, because sometimes students will spend a whole afternoon writing an essay and it'll be perfect, really good, like this quality, but obviously doesn't reflect exam conditions. From a factual perspective, copyright laws are the underlying factor that keeps creativity in motion. Good. In particular, administrative laws and copyright assist in securing content creators' financial status. Wonderful. For instance, before the 20th century, there was hardly any strict regulations on the violation of content such as the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, leading to much less creation in any form than today because novelty only thrives when it is properly monetized. Very good. Be careful here. Sweeping generalization. Okay? And here we need to research hedging, which is in the advanced chapters near the end of the course, so you might want to speed along and just watch all the videos. But here we should say to much less creation in any form than today, because more often than not, novelty only thrives when it is properly monetized. Okay? Usually novelty only thrives, but we need to introduce an element of uncertainty to avoid a sweeping generalization. Furthermore, copyright laws help get producers and creators acknowledged for their great contribution to the world's advancement. Okay, good. This stems from recent scientific findings in May 2017 by Yale researchers, that when a person is conscious of recognition, either from other individuals or society, which in this case represents the laws, the cerebral cortex, which is responsible for stimulating creativity, is activated. Wonderful work. Wonderful. Let's see. Okay, that's fantastic. I would suggest something like, therefore, it is clear, or therefore it is, I strongly agree that copyright laws or copyright protection strongly improves the functioning of modern societies. Okay? Just something like that, just to remind the examiner that we are going to get full marks for task response. Okay, your lexical resource is really, really good here. Okay, fantastic examples, very believable. This part, you've heard me struggle through it. Okay, this stems from recent scientific findings. For example, Yale researchers found that when a person is conscious of recognition, you see that reads just so much more, it just flows, it reads so much more easier, and it's just the may that made the stumble. Okay, so just try and aim for that kind of flow when you are writing your essay. Okay, let's see. Simultaneously, it is universally acknowledged that no society subsists in the absence of rules and regulations, because they are the most fundamental establishment for people's moral thresholds and sustainable development. Good. In other words, without laws, society is on the verge of absolute collapse and mayhem. Okay, without laws, it could be strongly argued, once again, avoid those sweeping generalizations. For example, when there is no restriction to the use of content, it is highly unlikely to impart strong morals to individuals, leading to a cascade of problems such as content privacy and copyright infringement, and ultimately hindering people from freely inventing and creating. Okay, good. Long sentences are risky because you increase the chances of a grammatical mistake. Okay? This was an extremely long sentence. Just bear that in mind the next time you want to express such a thought. Could be worth cutting it up into just smaller clauses, okay, smaller sentences. Moreover, the introduction of laws positively correlates with significant breakthroughs. According to a recent survey, The Laws and the Unknown, published in January 2018 by Harvard researchers, approximately 80% of Nobel Prize winners attribute their success and remarkable achievement to the security of laws. Wonderful, very, very good. And here as well, we could just do a concluding sentence just to tie up the paragraph and finish there. Okay, so this is really, really good work, 2V. Very impressed. Be careful though, I think I may have said this before, it's not the quality of your argument that's going to get you points, it's the quality of the communication. Okay, it's the quality that you've expressed that argument, so just pay special attention to that when you are constructing your arguments. Okay, so this is really good work. I'm very impressed. In essence, it is irrefutable that laws are great incentives for novelty. In fact, it is such rules and regulations that have elevated the world to a more efficient operating system. Very good, very good. Excellent. Okay, so with your ability, we do want to stick to the acronym. Okay. But I'd like you to consider putting in an additional argument, okay? Just maybe like 2 arguments at the beginning, and then giving an example of one, just to strengthen your case, okay? Because we're doing really well. Also, it depends as well on how long it's taking you to write these essays. So bear that in mind. If it's taking you an hour and a half, stick to this structure. If it's taking you 30 minutes, then why not put in an additional argument? Okay, so great work there, 2V. You are doing fantastically well. Very impressed. Given is the bar chart. No, let's just go for something simpler. Like above is the bar. The above bar chart highlights data on the amount of calorie intake of British men in different stages of life. Okay, as can be seen, dairy and vegetables intake and the group has an inverse relationship. Once again, we should be going for simplicity. Yeah, our sentence is overly complex. So let's see, dairy and vegetables. Okay, yes, it is true. Yeah, but still, it's not like the standout overall idea of the chart, is it? Anyway, closer study of the chart reveals that although dairy products, which account for more than 40% of the total intake, are the main source that supplies energy among 0 to 25, more than half of the dairy intake is cut down when men are aged over 50. Good, very good. Okay, be careful, it's not really a trend, okay? Trends are for line graphs over which show like many data points over a long period of time. So be careful. So we could just say this goes the same for vegetables, as they make up only 1/5 of the total amount of calorie sourced in the 0 to 24 section and reduced to 10% among those over 50. Excellent. Very good. Very good observations there. Meanwhile, regarding the meat and pulses, there is no such consistent trend. Good. In fact, the consumption of meat constitutes 20% of the energy supply for men between 0 and 24 and over 50. However, half of the calorie intake comes from meat consumption for the remaining age group. Good. Meat consumption. Simultaneously, the intake of calorie from pulses becomes lower as men between 0 to 24 reach the 25 to 49 age group. Nevertheless, pulses make up approximately 65% of the calorie intake for middle-aged men. Very good, very good. Excellent, we've got some really good fancy sentences. Okay, I would have liked to see sort of like the highest and the lowest, you know, the superlatives. Because that's like what gives you the overall idea. Another suggestion, which goes back to simplicity in the communication and the clarity in the communication, is just if we could group the information, we get points for grouping, okay? So, and we could also group this way, and this is how we could organize our essay, okay? So one paragraph here, one paragraph here, one paragraph here, and also group these, yeah? So we could say the highest source of calories for the youngest group is dairy, with over 40%. The rest of the food sources represented between 20 and 18% each. Okay, or the rest of the food sources, dairy, meat, pulses, and vegetables represented roughly between 20 and 18% each. Okay. Overall, what stands out is that men had a dominant calorie source for each life period. Genius. In particular, dairy products, meat, and pulses are consumed by the most by males in the age group 2. Okay, so that's a little bit. It's not the most easy way to digest that information, is it? So we could say, in particular, dairy products for the youngest group, meat for the middle group, and the eldest group prefer pulses. Full stop. And then we could even note the exception, like, incidentally, none of the groups ever have vegetables as their leading source of energy or calorie source. Okay, so great work there, 2V. What I want you to do now is exactly the same as before. Implement all the corrections you've heard. Then update your error list. Write down on your error list the suggestions I've given you for both essays. Then write me 2 new essays and check those 2 new essays for opportunities to improve them. Okay, and feel free to edit them. Also, let me know how long you're taking on these essays. You're doing really good. Let's keep on improving. Okay, have a great day.